Brilliant, we're live. Just a daft question as always. Can you hear me nice and clearly in a Bristolian accent over on YouTube? If you can let me know in the comments, that would be very much appreciated. So with that said, good morning. Welcome to today's RC Coffee Chat. Happy days. So on to today's topics. Thank you, Erlin. I appreciate that, fella. Right, today's topics. One which I want to hit head on, and that's to do with the video which I posted in the Facebook group yesterday. We've got an update on the Team Legit 48 because now that the clouds is flying and it flies straight. And my heart, I still go back to the clouds. It just did that and then stalled on me, and oh my goodness me. I'll put that in the notes as well. The chuck glider conversion as well. We'll be discussing that one in a moment. I think it was Nigel who posted a link to this in the Facebook group. There is a switchable video transmitter, which is definitely worth a look, and I actually bought 3 this morning for it. And that is the Wolfbox is a topic. So I'm running a little bit behind this morning. It's absolutely freezing out there again. Yeah, I didn't frankly want to get up. And yeah, that's the other topic which we've got to cover. Brilliant. Okay, so topic number 1. I want to tackle this one head on. And I'm sure many of you have already seen the video and the epically long post in the Facebook group. For those of you which haven't seen this, I've actually gone on record and stated how much in gross sales which I have made Banggood, which is I think is probably unheard of in the RC arena, but I'm sure you may have seen others do this in other areas, and I feel that it's absolutely vital that we do talk about this, okay, as a community, and it does kind of hammer home the point which I was trying to make the other day around Hobby King, okay? And I also feel that I need to be very open and honest with you to the best of my abilities, okay? And remember, this RC stuff is a hobby for me. And during the daytime, I wear 2 hats. I'm a teacher and a web developer, and I am hardwired to just share. I share what I learn, and that you've seen me do this with the RC stuff. As I find stuff, I share what I learn, and I share my fuck ups as well, because that's just as vitally important as finding out the right way of doing something. Is because if you can find the wrong way, you know to go a different direction, if that makes any sense. So there is an epically long post in the Facebook group, and if you have a spare hour, because it is an hour's conversation on the topic, then I would strongly suggest you go and have a watch of that video. And yeah, I would like to make the point, was it 2-3 days ago I mentioned about Hobby King not having an affiliate campaign, and it was all the way back in, episode 94 or 95, I mentioned a concern around Hobby King as well, because this has been playing in the back of my mind quite a bit, so this is why it's bubbling up to the surface now, and this is why I'm talking about this, is because it is a big concern of mine. I genuinely do like Hobby King, but I do feel that they're just not keeping up with the outside world, and the people who talk with you, other RC pilots, I'm very blunt on this. I have no incentive to cover any Hobby King products, and I do that. You've seen me cover the AXN, the Bonsai, the Reactor to a degree, what's the other one, Texumo, and a couple of other models along the way. But of course my focus is going to be on items from Banggood. I'm just being blunt, absolutely point blank, bluntly honest with you on there. There's that Edge 540, which I bought a couple of days ago, is that you could technically go and buy on Hobby King. But why would I show you that you can buy it on Hobby King when you can help support the channel via Banggood, you know? And that's the point here, is that this is a year-long project for myself, and I'm absolutely having a well of a time, and I'd like to thank everybody and for joining me on this ride. And Tam, I only watched 10 mins and not for me. Tam, I appreciate that. I wholeheartedly do. And it's not aimed at you as an RC modeler. It's actually aimed at a small to medium-sized business owner, because that video is... it needs to go on record, because I genuinely feel that eBay and Amazon marketplaces for small to medium and even large size businesses is a fantastic platform, but they are the crack dealers of e-commerce. They charge like 15% plus in some instances per sale, and that's for repeat customers as well. And I care passionately about those small to medium sized business owners, and I want to be able to give them that big like cuppa fucking slap. Like, come on! This ain't hard. You just turn up every day, be you, and talk about your business, talk about your products which you have. And it's okay to be biased as the business owner. So that's, if you want to find out more about that, it's in the Facebook group. And on Tam, like I said there, it's probably not for you. Okay, if you've got no interest in e-commerce or anything like that, you'll probably find it frankly fucking boring. Okay, but it does have a very serious undertone to it, because I've put in my day job as a teacher, I'm focused in e-commerce, and I genuinely do feel that eBay and Amazon are the crack dealers of the interwebs. And I'm not saying that's bad. I think that's actually fantastic. I just feel that YouTube is a massive medium, and I'm not late to the party at all as a content producer, and they're never going to be late to the party. It's only ever going to get bigger, which was a key point which I'm making at the end, is that the video views, all the things which go with that are just never going to go down. Okay, so that is a topic which I wanted to hit like head on at some point, and that's what I've done today. Okay, I don't want to keep this undercover. I know other channels have started to improve and what they're doing, but there are other channels out there, and it's fucking blatant, to say the least. And I want everybody's like eyes to wake up to what's actually going on and get some transparency into the hobby. And again, channels like Bruce, for example, even Andrew Newton, for example, which are absolutely fantastic, and they're very ultra clear. Like, Bruce has this standpoint. I wish, for fuck's sake, Bruce, you'd get onto the just move across, just be blatantly honest. Okay, you're not going to get any flack for saying I've bought this product to review it. Okay, and go with that. And yeah, like the Sky Shadow, for example, I'm message specifically aimed at Bruce, is Sky Shadow. It's okay to say like the ESC's crap and the motor was bollocks and things like that. And apologies for the language for it, but you can still point these things out. But ultimately, like I'd say in that video, it does bias your opinions a bit, because you're not going to completely slate them too much, okay? But it's also nice to, if you do find like a product which isn't too good. So for example, what was it, the FB90, which Bang Good sent me a review. I'm sure they're a little bit pissy that I haven't been able to put a review up on it yet, but I'm open and honest. They did send it to me review. You guys chose which one they sent, and the day it turned up, within a minute the propellers had gone off and hit the ceiling. I was like, oh, that's not a good start. So I've decided to take a different approach to it. So it's been with me well over a month now, and I fly it every single day, and I'm quite impressed with it actually. Like, the prop guards are crap on it, and you definitely want to buy some extra propellers. But yeah, it is. Sometimes you have to adapt what you do, in short. And long-term ownership, actually, in that instance, has actually been a very positive experience. So sometimes first impressions are not good. Right. Right. I'm just reading. Yeah, so I'm just reading your comments in the background. So that is the serious topic. I wanted to hit it head on, and I feel it's vitally important that we do discuss things like this in the RC hobby, because it does impact us as a whole, as a community. Okay, because I want to transparency in what's going on, and if I have to lead by example, then I will lead by example. So that was topic number 1. Apologies, I may have lost some of you on that one, but on the flip side, I sincerely hope that you appreciate the approach which I'm taking to that by just being, this is what's going on, okay? Right, on to the more modelly topic, which is the 48. Now, actually, before I get to the 48, I just want to say, it's like, thank goodness, the clouds flies. I feel so much better now. On Friday when we went out and flew her, what I'd done, I'd been and copied the settings from the mini Talon over to the clouds, thinking that was a good idea, which was, it completely was wrong idea. I should have just done a full like factory reset on it and then gone from there. Because when she was flying in the sky, she just went up like that and then did a massive stall. And when you see a model do that, which you've not only paid a lot of money out of your own pocket for, because what was it, $100 and some dollars, and you'd spent like 14-15 hours working on it non-stop, and it goes up and then it bloody stalls on you, and it's like, what the, and you think you've got the CG completely wrong and it's going to stuff it in, and then there would have really been tears on the flight line. And thank goodness on Sunday I factory reset the vector, went through all the settings again, well, most of them, because I did it quickly bodge a few on the flight line because I got the switches wrong, but it flew absolutely fantastic. So now that project is, she flies, we will be seeing more of the clouds in the future. But now that project, like the big part of it has been done, it now releases me to then come back and focus on the other model, which I was doing at the same time, which was the 48, which Team Legit did send me to review. And it is one bloody great big wing, to say the least. Now, I've got some photos here. One of the biggest ones is that I do feel that I may have put enough carbon fibre in that frame. I don't know how, let me just turn my head off a second. There we go. That is about 40,000 milliamperes sat on there. So probably about 2.5-3 kilograms sat on the top of there. And there's no sign of bending. So I am quite happy that I've been and put enough carbon fibre in that model to keep it nice and rigid. And yesterday was a wire loom pegging update. Now I don't know which photo is going to be the best, and again my head's in the way, so let's turn me off on there. So a little tip for you, I find this approach works really well for me. You'll see that all I've done is just put some pins into the models and then just ran the wires round to where they need to be, and that for me works really well. Now the server wires, I am going to bring them out the back of here, down the back, I'll glue them down underneath the bottom of the battery bay and then bring them round to collect up on here as well. So I do need some more extensions to go in here as well. But the thing is that, yeah, for the sake of 10 minutes and a couple of pins, is that I can put all the wires into place very easily, and a knife does not even need to hit the foam itself. And then once I'm happy, I can then go in, like on this video line on this side here, I need to pull out the white wire from that second wire and then wrap it round all the way through. So then end up with 4 wires on there. So I've got negative, positive, the orange will be video, and the white will be audio. And then on the opposite side, I'll have, no, I won't be red, black on that one. I will, actually I will do, let me get this right. I'll do red and black on the video line, and then on the receiver line I'll do brown, red, yellow, which will be S-bus coming from the either an X8R or an L9R out on the wing, and then the white wire will be the RSSI link. Remember yesterday when I said about put it in the wrong plug, that wire will be slightly longer, come up round and then plug in to the top in the RSSI socket, and then that means I only have to run 4 wires from the receiver into the center of the model, and then in the center of the model I've already started to trench out a decent size hole, because in there I need to put in a plywood base. Well, that's what I'm doing. You don't need to do that, but I'm going to stick a plywood base in there, box it out inside, just with some, actually I'll probably end up putting 3mm plywood. No, I'm not entirely sure whether I'll use 3.5 or 1.5mm plywood. It will be, put it this way, it will be plywood. A little box in the center, so that I can mount the vector down flat, and then I'll give some pre-plan into this, and then probably mounting some cable ties inside the plywood base as well, so that I've got little mounting points for it, for all the cables, so they all stay put. And of course I also have the power supply unit for the vector to go in there as well. And by the way, I don't actually think this model really needs a vector by any stretch of the imagination. It's a huge, great big wing, so it is going to be super stable. But with that said, I do intend using this one as a big camera platform, so that I can take some more video of other flying wings flying around. So that's why I'm personally putting the vector in the morning there. I'm just looking to your comments, by the way, and apologies if I've missed any of your questions. I've just been busy chatting. So Wayne says, Matt, when you bury the wire harnesses in the wings like that, glue them in, does the flex or the stress when you fly hard? Yeah, absolutely. In short, you've basically created weaknesses across the wing. There's no way that you can get around that. So what I do personally is make sure that the cables are tucked down a good couple of millimeters below the actual surface of the foam, and then I will run over the top with goop glue as well, to at least seal the joint back out on the top. Now remember, this model is going to be laminated anyway, and I do have a skin which I'm going to get printed at the end of this week, so that I can I can be a little bit sloppy in what I'm doing on the top, is basically what I'm saying. But that aside, I will be putting a big skin up either side of the wings, and I've got the design here. It just needs to go off to the printers to get done, and I will be putting another, like a skin on top of it, and I won't say what it is. It'll be really cool once it's done, I hasten to add. But we'll get the skin on top, and then I'll laminate in on top of that as well. So it will be super rigid anyway. But just for paranoia, I will run a little bit of goop glue along the top. What does Jeff say on there? Load that up with some LEDs so other wings can see you. Yeah, absolutely. And because I've got the RSSI to PPM, the S-bus to PWM converter, that could go in there as well. Maybe we could put some light strips up underneath and on the top as well. Jeff, that is a really good point, and thank you for that, because I completely overlooked that, and you actually bang on. Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm not going to stick a strobe on it, but I think some LED strip lighting, that would be very, very cool. And I've got the I actually bought them from Hobby King for about $4 at some remote. Just do it off the little clicky switch on the back right hand corner. You can toggle through all the thingies, and it's not like I don't have a few milliamperes to use. You know, what I'm going to be flying with that one? 10,400 milliampere hours. I think I can spare a few for a couple of LED lights. Good point, Jeff. Really, really good. Wayne says, okay, how are the harnesses holding up? I've not had a single issue with any of the ones which I've made so far. And that include, because they're all done to like almost a precise length. And I have bought all the little connectors, you know, like the little pokey bit, like on a servo lead, you get the little pokey one and then you get the female one. I just make them up with a pair of pliers. And I had one issue when I first started, because I made a real crap job of it. Since then, I've just actually spent some time and attention putting them together, and I've never had an issue since. I don't have the special tool for it. I just use a little pair of long nose pliers and just crimp them up myself, and they work absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, happy days. I'm glad that's helped, Wayne. Yeah, a disco ball. Well, no, disco wing. Thank you, Sick. Right. Next topic, which we've got. Let me just go back to my show notes and pause for a sip. Right, next topic is chuck glider. Now, I completely forgot I bought this. Let me stick that. Well, that's not a very good image, is it? Let's choose that one. That gives it a little bit better thing. Now, I bought this off GearBest, and my idea, I've got it here with me as well. Look at the bloody size of it. I was super impressed for 20 quid, and the box did turn up a bit bashed, but it is what it is. Oh, it turned up special delivery as well, which was a bit odd. So I saw the postman on the way back yesterday morning and said, I've got a special delivery for you. It's a real long one. And he wasn't kidding. What else have we got on here? Oh, I've already ripped the lid off the top, the canopy, and there is a bit of carbon in there. It came with some stickers too. Look at that. Look at the size of the ball bearings they've got in there. Absolutely bonkers. See, we'll knock one out there. There's some fair old weight in that. And to be honest, it needs more nose weight because I went out and chucked it yesterday, as you probably see from the scuffs on the bottom of her. And it's not as good foam as like these little ones. These are great. These are robust as you like. The kids have both got one for Christmas and they've been hammering the crap out of theirs. And I can't believe they're still in one piece. But this one, I don't think it would survive the kids, to be honest, without some prior beefing up. Now, the bit which does concern me is that is a bit flexible. So I do have 70 pieces of carbon fibre on the way to me today. Mainly because when Team Legit sent me the Wombat and they included the Twin Zoo as well, is that they did send me a load of lovely 1mm thick by about 3mm tall carbon fibre. The thing is that I kind of used it all in the Wombat, so I didn't have any for like the booms on the Twin Zoo. So I've had to order some more, and I thought, screw it, while I'm at it, I'm going to buy a shed load so it lasts me a couple of months. So I will be running some carbon fibre along there. The wings do feel a bit floppy, if I'm honest. They have put a glass fibre rod up underneath, but I don't. How can you see? Yeah, can you see this wingtip? If you look at the angle on it, it is a bit weak. So I do have concerns about that. I'm not too sure how I'm going to stiffen that up. I may, and this might be shock horror to you, I may even put a little bit of glass fibre underneath. So mix up some epoxy, get some 40-gram glass mesh, and then just run a bit up underneath here on these join pieces in the places where I think it's going to take a beating. And I say may because I think I'm definitely going to laminate this one. That's for sure. I don't think it's going to take a couple of bad hits. Or even mild hits, to be honest. So I think I will stick some laminate on it, and I definitely will stick some more carbon fibre across the bulk. Let me get this right. Across the bulk of the screen. But it does go together super quickly, and where's the fuse which I had? There's plenty of room for me to dig out in there. Lovely piece of finished EPO foam. And look at the size of the hole in there. I could dig out a massive hole in there and get a decent sized battery. So I don't know if I'm going to go for a powered version. That would be rather curious, and of course it means that I could fly it anywhere. Or I don't know if I'm going to go for a completely unpowered version and just have it as a slope soarer. Thinking aloud, it wouldn't detract from this model if I turned it into a powered version. And the reason for that is that because I could still use it as a slope soarer. In short, I think it would do fantastic. And of course, that means I can fly it in. I don't have to wait for the wind to be in the right direction, you know. And I don't have to wait for us to go out on a slope soaring day. I could potentially just chuck it in the car or fly it out the front or something like that. Yeah, I think realistically, if it was powered, then I would get more use out of it compared to non-powered and just having her as a slope soarer. So I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm not entirely sure. So I don't know. If anybody's got any views on that, let me know in the chat in the background. And yes, Wayne, the Wombat. Love that model. Bit noisy at the moment, but I'll chip away at that one at some point today, I'm sure as well. Don't intend going flying until properly until the end of the week. Anyway, so I've got a couple of days to sort that one out. Yeah, Wayne, the carbon fibre strips will sort it out. It's just the angles. It's going to be a little bit awkward to. Let me get this on the camera so you can see it right. There is two angles here. There's one here. Maybe I'll put it right. Yeah, you can see it a little bit better there. There is a pair of double angles in there, so I do need to go a little bit careful with that because I think I would snap that off quite easily. So, yeah. Oh, I don't know about that, Tyler. I think I might be able to fly that in the front garden. We'll see. We'll see. But if it was powered, it would get it out of the brain a lot easier, especially even on the slope as well. There's nothing wrong with cheat mode on the slope. It saved my bacon many a time. So that's the Chuck Glider. The next topic which we've got is, I believe it was Nigel which picked this one up. Over on Banggood, they have, and I looked at these before, and they really were like something like $30 plus. And they're down to $13 now. I've personally been and bought 3 of them myself. They are switchable little vTx's. The bit which I want to point out, there's 2 points. Number one is that is a standard connector. So if you've used any of the smaller little video transmitters like this one, they are in the middle, so it's the same plug. But do go careful, is that this one, it has got a center mounted antenna. All the other ones which I've got the antenna mounted on the right hand side. Okay, and the other thing which I wanted to point out is that, okay, none of those bloody annoying little dip switches. You can just bash the button, press it down for like 2 or 3 seconds to change the band, wait for it to finish, and then click the button to change the channels. Okay, I do much prefer that kind of video transmitter, because it's very quick to change your channel. And again, if somebody else is like embedded their video transmitter in their wing or in their quad, whereas like with something like this, you can quickly go and press the button, change the channel, and get back out again. Excuse me. Yeah, Wayne, maybe a small ducted fan on that little thing. Yeah, the possibilities are there. And again, maybe if we did do a ducted fan, that would be relatively simple to add. And also, yeah, it would be up on the top of the wing, not on the front. So it would be safer for the actual ducted fan as well. So yeah, there are benefits to ducted fan. Where do I go for the ducted fan? I genuinely don't know. I need to have a think about that. And again, if you've got any ideas or suggestions, please do chuck them in the Facebook's group. There is a thread on that glider, so any ideas, maybe a motor to stick on the front, or I do have that little 50mm Dr. Madthrust EDF, which I could put on there. And of course, then that gets into challenges around the mounting of it. That would be a challenge. Again, maybe with the if we were to do the EDF, now there's 2 points which are obvious for me to put it. Maybe up here, make a plywood plate to go in, and then be able to strap the EDF to it like above here. Or maybe I could do it back here. There isn't that much meat here for us to do that, so I'd be concerned of putting it on here. But the other one is that if it is further back, then the thrust angle has to go down, whereas that it could be almost straight when it's on the top of that section. So it's a blank canvas. This is the cool thing about converting a Chuck Glider, is that it really is genuinely a blank canvas, and you can do anything which you want. In short, brilliant. Boris, yes, you. Oh, no video. Just refresh the page and see how it goes. Apologies if it's not coming out correctly, or maybe even try a incognito window or private browser window and see if that works for you. And right on the C of G, and the C of G which it came with, it was tail heavy. It just go up, stall straight into the ground. So grossly tail heavy, to say the least. So that was the topic. So coming back on topic, video transmitter, I thought they were really good. I've personally been and bought 3 of them this morning. The links to those are in the video description. The last topic for today is a poll which I popped in the Facebook group yesterday, and it's been really, honestly, from a personal point of view, the discussion which has gone on around this. Now, what was the poll about? Now, I noticed on Banggood quite some time ago, they've got a Wolfbox 500 milliwatt 433 UHF transmitter and receiver, which I thought was I thought it was good value money, as maybe as an entry level piece of kit. We're not talking about Crossfire here or easy UHF or anything like that. I just what do you guys think of this as an entry level product? Excuse me. And the discussion on this has been absolutely fantastic. If you've not had a chance to go and read through the comments, I think it's super curious. And you can see the vote on there. It's a close cool on whether it was a good entry-level package that we're currently winning with 20 votes. But then look, no other reason, let us know below. And you'll see there's 34 comments on there. It's really, really curious. And I want to personally say thank you to everybody who's been and chipped in on that poll, because it's curious to see what other pilots' experiences are with the UHF in this instance. But this then goes on to, like, it stresses the importance of, like, for me personally, the importance of the Facebook group, because that's me asking a question, open-ended question, like, what do you think of this? And we've got a wealth of other pilots which have chipped in and passed on their, like, experiences and their views about that specific kit. And that's the cool thing about the Facebook. We could do that with anything else RC related. You've seen me do this before, like, what do you think of this? And I find it absolutely fantastic. And you see people, others, just like me and you, in there going, what do I do with this? And it could be whatever challenge they've got. So the Facebook group really is what you make of it. It really is what you're trying to make of it. So yeah, great price on that. But here in the USA, most of the FP gears from overseas isn't type accepted by FCC. Yeah, it is a challenge. It is a challenge. So yeah, that was the open question on that one yesterday. Yeah, Wayne, actually there was a curiosity, is that I'll completely muller this topic, but I'll give you the short version from what I remember Andrew saying about, was that with the video transmitters, there's a reason why they all went to RP-SMA. It's because the US changed the import rules on them, so they didn't allow SMA connectors. So the only transmitters you were supposed to be able to use were RP-SMA transmitters, video transmitters, and of course the Chinese caught onto that really quickly, because come on, look, it's only a connector, and then changed it over to RP-SMA. That's why all the cheap ones are RP-SMA, so that they could send them into the United States. But I probably really did muller that topic. Okay, that's second-hand information, in as much as I can remember. So those were the topics for today. I'm going to quickly recap what we've been and covered today. Number one, that topic which we spoke about at the beginning. I do feel I wanted to hit that topic head on with you. There's nothing to hide here, okay? But I would like to make this point, okay? This has not even made a dent in how much, if you consider the whole piece, the time, the effort, the energy, the actual cash outlay, it hasn't even made a dent in how much I'm personally in the hole with this project right now. And I started this project purely by accident, just to make a point. Well, it was always my intention to do something like this. It just so happened it turned out to be RC, which, frankly honest, I'm really pleased about. I've got a hobby which I'm really passionate about, and a hobby which I can discuss with you every single day, and I'm not alone. This is the real nice thing, and I genuinely would like just to say thank you. I'm not the only RC nutter which will sit there and then pin out his wiring looms on his model, and then think about making a little plywood top for that to fit the EDF on it as well. I do genuinely feel at home here, and I would like to say thank you ever so much for joining in. I genuinely do mean that, okay? And this is one of the reasons why I'm being as clear and as open as I can be with you, especially on topics like that. The second topic which we covered was the 48. She is coming along. She is looking good. And I know what that graphic looks like with what I'm going to stick on top of it. It's going to look the nuts. And a big hat tip to Jeff for suggesting the LEDs. I will go and get out. I've got some fresh packs which I can wire up on her as well. That is going to look the bollocks. Yeah, that's going to look really cool. So thank you, Jeff, for that suggestion. The chuck glider conversion. Not entirely sure. I'm going to stick it back in the box. It needs to go to one side because I genuinely do need to go back and what spare time I have got specifically today, I need to focus on the 48 to help get her over the line, because I really am looking forward to, genuinely am looking forward to flying that one. I really am. We mentioned the switchable video transmitter. Yeah, I've bought 3 of those this morning. Okay, I think it's great being able to switch between 25, 200 and 600 because of all different circumstances. Okay, and especially those of you which are allowed to go up to those higher milliwatt hours ratings, then happy days. You could use 25 for indoors, 20 for your local flying, 200 for your local flying field, and 600 if you wanted to go a little bit further. I think that's fantastic. You get to choose rather than having to change out a whole unit or have a model which is dedicated to just the flying site, your normal flying site. You know what I mean. And the other one was the Wolfbox item. This really just hammer home the usefulness as the Facebook group for not only me personally, because I was curious about this, but for you too. If you've got a question and you're stuck on something, stick it in the Facebook group. The link to the Facebook group is in the video description for you. Okay, and a little note for you, those of you which are new here and have not hit the subscribe button yet, down in the video, just underneath this video where it says Matthew Ogborn, there's a big red button which says subscribe. Click on that, and then to the right hand side of that, press the bell icon, and you'll be notified the second the next video is out. And remember, the Facebook group is free to join. Just press the join button on the right hand side, and one of us will pick up your join request, and you'll be in there and be able to chat later this morning or later this evening, wherever you are in the world. Okay. So yeah, no, you're not. Wait, yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, I do think it would be curious what it ends up in. It might just turn out to be a complete POS, but judging by those little chuck gliders which I stuck the little motor on the front, that was brilliant fun. I got good hopes for that one, and frankly, I completely forgot about it. I bought it in December at some point, and it's only just turned up now. So that was from Gear Best. I've always said this along. Banggood are like 7 to 10 days for me, and Gear Best are 24 days in that instance. Am I bothered about it? No, not really. It was one less distraction while I was trying to get the clouds finished. Let's be perfectly honest there. Wayne says you need to clone yourself now, Matt. You're getting busy. Slapping EDF on it, yeah. That may happen, Nick, by the way. That's got me thinking about the little mount on the top to go and fit it on the top. And it doesn't need to be on all the time. It just needs to be able to get me out the brown, or just be able to get some height on so I can enjoy the ride on the way back down. But Wayne, in the video which I mentioned, first of all, do take the time to watch that, because there is a serious topic around like the Facebook group as a whole, because right now it has got a fantastic vibe to it. I'd like being in there personally, but I have seen and I've been in some larger Facebook groups, and you can tell it's all gone to shit. Okay, there's just for it, and that's not something which I want for the Facebook group. So the Facebook group, what I'm going to say on that topic is that you make of it as much as if you want to make of it. It's I've labelled it as being the after party to the RC coffee chat, but on a very personal level, it's fantastic. I can ask a question, and there's this whole wealth of experience from across the globe available to me personally, and it's also available to you as well. That for me is fantastically cool. So with that said, there are no bad planes, there are just bad pilots. I don't know, there are some bad planes, I assure you. POS example. Those of you which didn't see yesterday's episode, that is a POS. And there are, unfortunately, some bad models out there, such as the Wingnetic. Sorry, Jeff. It does fly fantastic. It's the whole nose area which is my issue. It's just if you get one flight out of it, you're lucky, you know. So yeah, your time, you're riding time on that one, Jeff. Put it that way. So with that said, it's time for me to wrap up. Thank you ever so much for joining me for today's RC coffee chat. If you are watching the recorded version of today's RC Coffee Chat, don't forget, you can still get involved underneath this video. If you have a question or a comment, do leave me a message in the comment section underneath this video. I will do my best to get back to you in a timely fashion. And on that note, it's time for me to go. Thank you ever so much for joining me for today's RC Coffee Chat. And I'll see you about the same time tomorrow morning. Cheerios!